welcome back to Up the Villa. This is our press conference reaction. Unai Emery has done his presser ahead of Fulham v Aston Villa. If you are new around here, make sure you are subscribing to the channel, smash the likes and comment your thoughts in the comment section down below. Right, do not take lightly what I am about to say. Aston Villa have no injuries going into this game. Tyrone Mings is available. Kamara is available. McGinn available. Ramsey available. Onana available. Konsa available. Jadon available. We have pretty much a fully functioning, fit squad for the first time in God knows how long. Even probably before Tyrone Mings' injury, there was probably somebody out. So this is absolutely the best news, and probably the best news I have mentioned on an Unai Emery press conference, because there always seems to be someone with a knock coming back, not being ready, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, I'm just absolutely buzzing because to have Kamara back now, to have Mings back, going into this period of the season, which we've spoke about all week, have been really important because of these little 7-game periods, international break, 7-game periods, going into those. It's about momentum, and I've already said this week that this feels like a really big part of our season. If we can start playing really well now, and matching results with really high level performances, then we're just going to be flying, and hopefully we can get there. So yeah, I'm just really buzzing that Emery's said that they're all back and they're all okay, and going into this game, it's a massive boost because we want squad competition, we want players fighting for their places, we want a healthy squad. And I spoke about this of Rodri being out for Man City and Kamara being our equivalent to Rodri. It's absolutely huge, and to get these players back, it just gives you that sense of feeling okay about even more rotation and players where we've looked a little bit short, especially on that left-hand side at centre-back now, with Mings available in there as well, coming off the bench. Maybe he can play in the Carabao Cup games. So yeah, massive boost, absolutely buzzing. So if that doesn't deserve a like, then I don't know what does. So make sure you are hitting the like button as well. So what Emery has said then during his presser, he said that Kamara and Mings for this match are available and are going to try with us for Fulham. McGinn is training normally with us. He's feeling good. Konsa as well, he's feeling good. Jadon is feeling good. I think it's the first time this year we more or less have every player available. I can't believe it. I can't, that we've got every player available. That is absolutely mental. He's been speaking ahead of the fixtures coming up and saying that Tuesday we are playing Champions League and we'll have to manage firstly the match tomorrow and then take the best decision with the players who are playing more minutes than others. And I think, especially from what we saw against Ipswich, it has to be full focus on Fulham. Fulham are playing really well. They're unbeaten so far at home this season. It's going to be a real difficult game. Full focus has to be on that for me. And then we can start thinking about Bologna on Tuesday. But Emery knows he's got a fresh trim. He's had his hair cut. It looks like he's been home for a little bit and he's got that little bit of a fresh trim. So he looks revitalised and ready to go. Some people keep asking about my hair. I'm growing my hair a little bit. I used to cut it myself. So I've decided to got a style in mind, so I'm going to grow it. So if anyone keeps asking, that's what I'm doing. On Jadon, he's put, and this was another one, apparently he got injured on under 21 duty, he had a scan, etc., but he's fine as well. So we are getting minutes on the pitch with Jadon, and he played fantastic matches against Bayern Munich and Manchester United. We can feel comfortable with how we are in different options to play in the starting 11 and being competitive. I'm really happy for Jayden. I think he's had 2 really good performances, and I think the last thing that we want is 2 good performances and then he's out the team. We want to keep this momentum going now, keep these level of performances going, whether he's starting games, whether he's coming off the bench, and he's having that impact off the bench as well. So I think that's vitally important that he stays nice and healthy now and he can offer that option, because we've seen so far in the last 2 games how good he is and what he can do to the team. So he spoke about Fulham. He's put last year competed very well and kept in the middle of the table. This year they are being an option to get into the top 10 and threatening the top 7 teams. You know, I've spoke all week about how good Fulham are and how well they're playing and how difficult this game will be as well. We've got some news from Marco Silva as well. He has confirmed today that Sasha Lukic is out for this game, so that's a big blow for Fulham, especially in the middle of the park with how they've been playing this season. So Marco Silva has said he's going to be out. Mixed feelings on the break. Some players are able to keep momentum, play minutes and contribute, like Wilson, Anderson and Raul. And sadly, they've come back with some injuries. Timo also back with a problem. He's touched on playing Aston Villa. We've played them twice at home since I've joined on top. One was top and one not so much. It's going to be a great game. Both teams are going to try and win. Let's hope we can be the better team. And that's some information from Marco Silva. But from a Villa point of view, I think now we've got a healthy squad and everyone's back, we should be pretty confident that we can go win this game. I'm really looking forward to it. And I think it's going to be a tight, exciting. I think there's going to be goals. Emery has also spoke about the England job, Thomas Tuchel. He's put, I can only speak about him as a coach. He's an amazing coach. He has great experience in different countries and he has won the Champions League. Someone's asked him if he would be interested in international management. I am happy with my role as a coach in clubs. I don't know if in the future I can think in case some national team is calling me. I don't know now. Leave him alone. Why are you asking silly questions like that about Unai Emery going to manage for a nation? Some of you have asked my thoughts on Tuchel and being the England manager. I'll keep it as brief as I can. I don't mind it. I am in the camp of I want the best manager available to get the job. And I don't mind what nationality they are, as long as they are the best available coach, manager that can lead this team. I think Tuchel is very good in cup competitions. He's won the Champions League, so that gives me confidence that he can do well for England. I think his in-game management, from what I've seen, has always been really good. I remember when we were playing well around Christmas time and we were playing good against Chelsea. He made a couple of changes at half-time, brought on Lukaku, changed the game, won the game, and it was a really good change from Tuchel in that area. And I think the problem, I've been thinking about this a little bit, about England and English coaches, where are they? You know, basically, I told you the other day that I'm starting my coaching badges. So I am going to try and go on that pathway and gain some coaching badges. It might take me to an A licence, a B licence. I want to do the C licence, definitely, to start with anyway. And I was looking at social media, and Stan Collymore put a big tweet out about how expensive it is to do so. And it's £15,000, around £15,000 to do your UEFA Pro licence, which is the highest licence. And that's a lot of money. 15k to do that Pro licence is a ridiculous amount of money. And they were comparing it to different nations, and I think Spain was around 6, and there's only around 250 people in England or Great Britain or UK, can't remember which one it was, but around 240 have actually got that pro license, which isn't a great amount of people, is it? It's not a great large number. So I think that is probably part of the problem, that I think it's really expensive to do so. And I kind of feel like, I don't know really, I just think that's maybe part of an issue of why there aren't that many top English coaches. And I think if you look at the best English coach at the minute is Eddie Howe, isn't it? And if you look past that, there's not a great deal of quality out there. I saw another interesting thing the other day, that the last English coach to win a trophy was Harry Redknapp. And that's mad in itself as well. So that shows that the amount of shortage of English coaches within the game that are actually winning things on the highest level. So I think we've got to produce more top coaches that can come through, and I think earn your stripes sort of at not at lower level, but through the ranks. I think, you look at sort of like English coaches that have been managing in the Premier League or Championship, and you're looking at Frank Lampard, you're looking at Rooney, you're looking at Gerrard. They're just not good enough, and I don't think that they've had that schooling and that experience to get to that level. I think that is part of the problem. You've got to gain the experience to be able to have a lot of different experiences that you can work on. And I think management is difficult anyway, because you can go in at a job and you can have an absolute disaster. It all go wrong and your managerial career could be over. But I think if you are good enough and you've got good principles and you've got great coaching ethics and tactically you are really astute and working to a high level, then I think you can succeed. But I think a lot of people like Lampard, Gerrard, Rooney, they go in at a club and then they go in at another one, and they're not gaining a real good foundation. And I think within football as well, and this is probably where I'm getting at, is the sense of, I said I was going to keep this short, but I've gone off on one. But what I think is as well is that there's more to it than just being a former player with experience. There's more to it than being just a coach. I think it's the overall package of the person as well. Personality, charisma, an ability to manage, an ability to lead, an ability to be tactically aware, to have fundamentals that you all work with and you're all aligned with. And I think there's so much that goes into it. And I think if I'm describing like the perfect person, I'm describing Unai Emery, because he's got absolutely everything. He's got that charismatic charm. He's got that personality, he's got that edge about him, he's got that, if he's not happy, he can show it, and his personality and his demeanour, his work ethic is just ridiculous. His love of the game is great, his tactical, he's so good, and I think he's got absolutely everything. And I just don't think you can be down one area and just go, oh, I'm good at that, and that's going to make you, it's not going to make you a good coach or a good manager. So I think there's a real problem within English football, and I think it goes down the pyramid, doesn't it? We all love the Premier League. We all think that that's the be all and end all, but a lot of it comes from a grassroots level, which feeds straight the way through. So I think we've got to get that right. And there was that chat, wasn't there, about they were saying that they weren't going to pay for a big manager because they've got this discrepancy at grassroots level and they know that they've got to put more money into it. So I think personally, it's a big problem for English football that we don't have any standout candidates. And when people say there shouldn't be foreign, I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. I think if he's the best person for the job, then he should get it. But I think if you scratch beneath the surface and think, well, you've got Tuchel, who's next? And there is no English coach that is anywhere near Tuchel, because he's won the Champions League, he's managed at some elite clubs, etc. So we need more coming through to make that decision. If there was a real brilliant English coach, you'd go, him or Tuchel. Obviously, we're going to go down this English route because he's better or just as good, but that person's not there. So I think it is a problem, and I think Tuchel's on an 18-month deal. We got to see where we are after that, but we need to, hopefully what the FA have realised in this search for a manager is the fact that we need to improve at grassroots. And then, I'll touch on Carsley. For me, personally, what he did against Greece in that game showed me he should be nowhere near that England job. Just off that one game and picking that team, because it was absolutely awful what we saw. And for me, it didn't deserve him getting that job. And what I was talking about of the overall package of, is Carsley a good coach? He's a really good coach. He's a really, really good coach. But what else has he got? Because when he speaks to the media, there's nothing there. And that plays a big part, because we know how this job, this England job, if things go bad, what would have happened? It would, the scrutiny he'd be under. I don't think he'd have been able to manage his way out of it. So, so that's where I'm at with England. I mean, this episode's just waffled on, hasn't it? Christ. Right, so Emery spoke about Duran. I'm thinking in him how, with his process here and how he's progressing, how important it is for him to start in these matches. Maybe tomorrow or maybe in the next games we play. He's ready and his next challenge is coming. John Duran's performances have been very good for us, playing minutes and getting more minutes for him. I think this month is the same, and John Duran has won the September goal of the month as well. And then just touching on injuries, everybody's good. Onan is okay as well. It's good news. Perfect. I think we are all done. So, you've had a bit of England, you've had a bit of Emery, you've had a bit of Villa. So, fully fit squad. Let's go, everybody. Hope you've enjoyed it. I'll see you on the match reaction after the Fulham game up the Villa.